I'm back from GenCon. I picked up a few things. I need to sort through all this, so I figured why not make a video while I'm doing that. So let's get into this. Welcome to Solitary RPG. Alright, so I'm back from GenCon. I picked up a few things while I was there. I am very pleased to announce I did a very good job at controlling what I purchased. However, I did make a couple big purchases that are not in view that I will show a little bit later. But for right now, I figured we will just run through everything you see on the table. So let's just start digging through everything you see here. So first, a cat's dice set. This I picked up for my wife. We love cats. And these are pink, so I picked her up a pink set of cat dice. There's a modern D4 inside this. I didn't even realize that. It's this rounded one. I just said I need pink dice because I wanted to pick up a present for my wife. You cannot go on vacation alone without your significant other and not bring her back a gift. So one of the games that I like are the VHS tape series. I've done a video on those before. They're kind of like horror games. One of the gimmicks that they have is they're really leaning into the VHS style packaging and everything. So it's a RPG game that fits in a little VHS box, but they had some expansion material that I've never seen, so I picked them up. These are short horror stories. But inside, it's just a bunch of expansion material for the game. You got some new monsters to fight, which I think is really cool to get some expansions. And then it's just filled with a bunch of maps. And all these maps are folded, kind of small, so that they fit in the VHS tapes. So you have all these maps just to play expansion games. So I was really excited to see this. I've just got a bunch of maps and new creatures to add or new encounters to add. Then there's a spin-off book that has some new scenarios to play out with all your new encounters. So these are just little adventures that I just thought was cool. And these I have not opened yet. Oh, there we go. Let's go ahead and open them real fast and see what these are all about. So these are little short stories or short adventures. And we got every 27 years, Bloody Twister. That gun looks familiar from what was that Quentin Tarantino vampire movie? Dusk to Dawn. The guy that had the crotch gun. So just cool stuff. Organic Mess. I don't know anything about these. I haven't read them. This was just one of those things. I was at GenCon. I was walking around. I saw the booth that was selling all this product line, and I saw these were new little expansions, not like total game expansions, but it looked like they had 3 new game expansions out at GenCon, so those were cool. Troca. So Indie RPG Press is a really cool booth at GenCon. Just a table full of indie stuff. I saw this Troca book, and above it was the regular Troca book, and I was opening this up and I was like, this is really cool. I asked the guy if this was like, is this the regular game of Troca? And he said yes, this is just the paperback version of the game. Normally I just see the hardback version. I've never seen this before. I like the cover. One of the other things that was cool about it is there's some instructions back here about turning this into a GM screen, which I thought was just creative. I don't think, this isn't a very hard cardboard, so I would question how long this would hold up, but it's very gimmicky, and I thought it was neat. A great way for maybe a smaller zine to be put into a paperback style and made into a GM screen, because you can just print out your pages and attach them. I just thought it was neat. I've never played Troca. I know a lot of people love it. It's just not something that's ever caught my attention, but I thought I would check this out. Doug was, these are cards for Doug over at Victory Condition Gaming to be used in Outgunned. I picked this up from Two Little Mice. They were there. and I was going to have him sign it, but he was not really present a lot. He's got some life stuff going on. But I did get the card. Studio Gate was there selling a lot of their product. They have like an end cap over at Studio 2's booth. And I talked a little bit about Shadows of Estrin during Free RPG Day. And it's just not a game I wanted to play. But this was a choose your own adventure style game in the same world. So I thought this would be just a fun pickup to check out and just maybe expose myself a little bit more to the world while still playing the game solo. So I picked this up. I love choose your own adventure books. If you've been watching the channel, you've seen plenty of those. So very cool. Dark Tomb. So this was a booth that was just behind our booth. Every time I walked by, there seemed to be a lot of people there, and they had these two tins, this one and another one. And I was very interested in what they were selling, and one day I was walking by and there was nobody really around, so I jumped in the booth. And this is a small tin style game that is a dungeon crawl that can be played solo or with a group. I thought it was perfect for where I was at the moment, which was traveling. After we left GenCon, we headed over to Kansas and hung out with some of my buddies' family in Kansas for a couple days. And I found myself living in a basement for those couple days, which I love. I love the basement in Hutchinson, Kansas. Big shout out to my buddy Jason and Grandma Kep for putting up with me for a couple days at their house. And I actually ended up playing this in the basement, which I thought was cool because it's Dark Tomb. Fun game. I'm going to do a deep dive into this because I want to give some love out to this company, because I love these little tin games, and you can take these with you on vacation, which is perfect. I picked up Solo Dark, so Kelsey was there. Shadow Dark won some Emmys awards, which was really cool to see the game getting some recognition. I just picked this up because it's pretty much have everything for Shadow Dark from the Kickstarter, but this is the one thing that was not part of the Kickstarter rewards, which is cool. It was cheap. It was like 10 bucks. And I'm supporting an indie artist, so all that stuff is cool. So this is one of the things I like about what was done with this book is it's not necessarily really deep. A lot of the reference material, it's just like a reference book for like what pages to go to when you need certain things. It's got some charts for like dungeon names and prompts, and there's a built-in like an oracle. Just a simple D20 oracle. So it's not a real deep solo game mechanic. It's more of just an aid for playing solo, which is cool. But I will add that to my Solo Dark collection. Laminations of the Flame Princess. This was a free handout with some adventure material and really talking about their prices, which is a really great way of doing prices. I just picked it up, but I didn't pick up anything else that would go with it. But yeah, just cool stuff. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later when I clear some more stuff off my desk here. So what is this? So I was over at Dungeon Crawl Classics. Nice booth. Love hanging, checking out everything at Dungeon Crawl Classics. But I picked this up because these are character stats for a canine. So having a dog as a party member, which I thought was really interesting. That's one of the mechanics I've been using a lot more with my solo games, is giving myself an animal to be part of my party, and they can be kind of like a character, like a tank character, helping out. So they had some rules for DCC. I just wanted to take a look at them. It was like, it's $5, so I picked it up. Kind of cool. The Horror Game Book. So this was another choose your own adventure style game book, but you have more dice mechanics built into it. This was just something I saw and I was like, kind of in this like, let's buy stuff for solo gaming mood. That's why I got these choose your own adventure books, and I was looking at games that were kind of solo driven. But I just thought this was cool, so I figured I'd pick it up and give it a run. These are two Morkborg zines. I got Zine 1 and Zine 2, but these are Morkborg adventures. I just thought they were really neat. They were inexpensive. The booth I was at is a booth I do like. It's an Italian company. They do Ragnarok and a couple other books that I really like looking at. They're gorgeous art. I picked some stuff up from them last year, visited them again this year. Nothing, no books on their table that I wanted, but I saw these zines sitting on top of a shelf. I'm like, what are these? I thought maybe they were just supplements or some, like, you know, typical magazines for their company. And they told me they were Morkborg Adventures, so I picked them up. Haven't really read them, haven't done anything with them, but I do have them. Reap was another game that I saw that I picked up. It just looked interesting. It's got solo mechanics. It's got this cool card for some mechanics for the game. I don't know much about it, but I was talking to the booth, the guy running the booth, and he said it does have solo mechanics, so I picked it up. It looked interesting, and it wasn't terribly expensive. So one of the things I like to do is, yeah, big companies are there, big companies were selling stuff, but I like to go to those small independent booths and pick up some indie products. So I picked this up, and this company also does some other games. They sell some other games that I'm familiar with that I've picked up before. So just visited them and picked that up. Odyssey Black Tales. This was at a booth that I was visiting, that I've picked up stuff from them before. They sell the Dante's Inferno series, and they had this there. I don't know if this is one of their publications or something they were selling for somebody else, but the book just caught my attention because of the size and the gold leafing. And then when I was flipping through it, it's kind of got this anime comic book or anime book story going through it, and it's just a little RPG, and I just picked it up because it looked really cool and I want to spend some time with it. I'll read it, and I don't know if I'm going to end up playing it, but I like books. I like the size of this one, and I like the concept of where they were going, adding in the anime. So that's why I picked it up. I also got some more stuff from a booth that I was at, some art that we will talk about later, because I did pick up the Red Dragon version of Fate Forge. That was my big purchase. So this was given to me by Studio Gate from my purchase, and it's a little anime story and just something to read, so very cool. I was at a booth, and the booth was promoting Stormlight, the RPG that went live on Kickstarter on Tuesday. They said they had more information in this magazine, some write-ups about it and some information, but you had to buy the magazine for $5, so I picked it up because I want to learn more about Stormlight. And here's the information on the back. Let me get the glare off if you want to scan that QR code to find out more about it. But Dragonsteel and Brotherwise Games are putting out Stormlight, and it was just something I wanted to check out. So I picked up the magazine so I could read about it. Other things that you're seeing on my desk before I bring out the big stuff. As you know, I paint miniatures. Artist Opus was there. I picked up a set of their stable haired brushes. This goes from triple out to 2. So I picked up another set of paint brushes for my ever-growing collection of paintbrushes. So Free League was there. I love Free League. However, I own pretty much everything Free League has, but they had D6s with the Free League logo on it. Let me take one of these out, and I picked them up. Here's the Free League logo, and just they just grabbed a pile of them and put them in my hands. And they also had a Dragonbane with the duck character on the pin, a cool enamel pin for Dragonbane. So I also picked this up just to add to my collection of stuff because I really do like Dragonbane. These are just some random dice I got from purchasing stuff. This one I got from Studio Gate. This is a big metal D20. And this one I got from the company that sold me the cat dice, just as a thank you for buying stuff. I'm whittling everything down so I can show you this mat, because it's from Vastgrim and it's part of something else that I want to talk about. Mantic was there. They had Dungeon Saga for sale. I've been painting up a lot of Dungeon Saga stuff. And this is the dice game for Dungeon Saga. And it looks like they had a variety of different other games. Dice games, same size, same packaging. So I don't know if they're all just reskins, but I like Dungeon Saga. So I picked it up. Comes with some dice, comes with some cards. Haven't played it, don't know anything about it, but I'm going to add it to my Dungeon Saga collection. Sorcery is a card game. They were selling the beta cards at GenCon, which are hard to get right now. There was a content creator that was by their booth just handing out packs. So the guy bought a whole box of sorcery cards and just started handing them out. I was lucky enough to get one because this is a game I've been interested in since I've saw reviews on it. And I really just kind of dig the art. The gameplay looks interesting. Might be a game my wife and I can play together. But this was a random pack that I was given by that content creator that was there. I didn't get his name. Sorry about that. It was chaos as he was handing out cards because this was extremely popular. And then the company was giving out a promo card. So booth was always busy because an artist was doing signatures there, so it was hard to get into the booth. When I finally got into the booth and I was going to buy a box of the sorcery cards, they were sold out, so I missed out again on this product because when they first were released, they did a limited run and they were sold out quickly. Right back to square one, being sold out, but maybe one day I'll get them. I don't know. Okay, so at GenCon, vendors trade with vendors. It's just what happens at GenCon. On Sunday is usually when a lot of the trading takes place because maybe some stuff that's not selling, people will trade off, or if they have overstock, things like that. Gentleman came up and he was like, hey, are you guys willing to trade? Because we have Tiny Epic Dungeons. He was interested in that. And I was like, what booth are you? Pointed me to his booth. And I was like, okay, I saw Robotech. They have an RPG. I picked it up. It looked, that's what we traded for. So I gave him a couple games and some product. And we traded. I guess this was like a $70 book. So we traded equal value. And I just picked it up. Don't know anything about this. Don't even know if it's something I will be interested in. I may end up just reading this a little bit and then sending this off to my buddy John over at Mr. Mean Speaks. Maybe he can give it away. I know he has a child. Maybe he can hold on to it until his child gets older and might be something of interest. But I believe Homefront is an expansion because they mentioned that if I go on their website or send them an email, and this is the company here, Strange Machine Games, they would send me a PDF of the actual rules. So this is just, I believe, an expansion. But anyways, so I picked it up. It was in a trade. Another game I got in the tray is City of the Great Machine. This is like a steampunk game. Another vendor came up, wanted to do some trading. We were like, sure, what do you got? They listed a bunch of the games. I wasn't interested in any of them at first, but my buddy went over, picked up the trade. He got this because he was thinking the miniatures would be cool. I was reading the back of the box and it's got a 1 to 4 player count. I'm like, dude, I'll take that. Might be something that I can play because it's got a solo mechanic. We will see. But it's just, it was just a cool looking steampunky kind of a game with all of these tiles in it. And it's got some cool miniatures in it. So I will, dive into this, give it a once over and see if it's something that I want to play on a more regular basis. So again, trading takes place quite a bit at GenCon with other vendors. We did some other trades with other vendors for other games, but those are the two that I traded for. There was another vendor with Ultraman card game. I know nothing about this game, but the gentleman came up to me. We had 2 cases of water because we make sure we have snacks and water at our booth because we have like a little storage area in the back. They were at a smaller booth and he was like, hey, you guys, can you spare some water for us? We got no water and water was expensive. So we gave him a bunch of water. He gave me a pack of their promo cards. So I'll take a look at it. The art looks interesting. Their booth was busy and there was a lot of people showing interest in their game. It is a card game. I believe it's going to Kickstarter, but they were giving out some promo packs, which is smart. If you're going to go to Kickstarter, give away some promo packs so people see that you have something ready to roll. I believe this is like a 2-player starter set. I'll take a look at it. I don't know if this, is a game that I'm going to get excited about, But I helped them out, gave them some water, and be honest with you, I would have just gave them water anyways. They were just really nice folks. Like, we've developed relationships with all the folks around us, which is always what we do, because we put in this big castle, and you know, we kind of become like a centerpiece at the stage, and people come over, which is cool for them because that brings people to go over and look at their product as well. But I would have just gave them the water, but they gave me a promo pack, which was cool. As you know, I go to GenCon with Gamelin Games, and doing so, I become part of the company for those few days as we are there. I'm the booth guy. I help set up the booth, but I also sell product. Longpack took us out to dinner. Nathan is the operations manager. It was his birthday on Sunday. So they took us to St. Elmo's on Sunday, which is a really nice steakhouse. But we had like a little birthday party, and they gave gifts. This is a cup that says Longpack Game & Toys on it and has their logo. You can't see it, and that's the idea. When you put ice water in here, you know, put some ice cubes, the whole thing turns blue because that's their color. It's kind of showing some of their product designs, which was just really neat. Don't know what I'll do with the cup, but this, they gave us dice, and this is really cool. So watch this. This is more showing us their packaging and their design and things that they can do. This impressed everybody at the table. You open this up and your dice elevate. Look at that. Like, they elevate up. This is really cool packaging. These are their sharp edge dice. So they were just trying to show off their dice. They're a crystal color, and there's other colors within there, which is really neat. I was super excited to get these because I play RPGs and I can use these. We were all happy to get the gifts. Very thoughtful to give us these. These are, you know, they're high-end dice. These are resin dice. They also were giving out, some of the guys got gemstone dice, which were really nice. But the packaging is what really caught my attention because, you know, at the table I just played with this after dinner for a while because it's just really cool. But yeah, just a neat set of dice. And speaking of dice, you're probably seeing this little container of dice here. And now I'm kind of at one of my bigger purchases, not the biggest purchase I made, but one of my bigger purchases. Vast Grimm is a game that I do own and I do like it. They had a booth there, and I was looking at the Vast Grimm stuff, and I'm like, okay, pretty much have all of that. I don't need anything. Then they had a little rack. I found this cool little game. I just picked it up. I was looking at it. It looks like this, you know, you have these cards. I don't know if I cut these out or what I do with these. Don't know anything yet, but it's a little solo dungeon dive. One bit deeper. I think I've seen videos on this, but I was impressed with it, so I picked it up. It was pretty inexpensive. But then I noticed this mat, and I noticed the mat had cards on it, and I was like, what's going on with these cards? I thought maybe it was a newer product, which it was, for Vast Grimm, and basically it is a card-driven version of Vast Grimm that you can play solo or with another person. And you can buy a bundle which came with these cool dice, which are just really neat dice. Nothing, you know, earth-shattering on the dice. They're just small D6s and a cool set of these green kind of clear dice. And you could buy everything for $60, but they did not have the card game in stock. Just like us, they had some product shipping issues. They didn't get them in time for the convention, so they were letting people pre-order. I didn't even have to have the guy demo the game. I just said, sign me up, give me the all-in bundle. So I got it all. There was two different mats. This is the one I chose because I thought it would be good for my channel as a background mat, and then I can also use it for gameplay. So let's take a look at the big purchase from GenCon 2024. I kind of went to GenCon this year looking very, you know, specifically for stuff that I really wanted to play or have in my collection. Fate Forge is a system that I have been interested in, and I knew that Studio Gate would be selling it, and they usually do bundles. And I went to the booth a couple different times and oohed and awed over all the Red Dragon editions of Fate Forge. However, the bundle that they were selling included books 1 through 4, and I already have book 1 and 2 regular edition. And I just didn't feel like I wanted to rebuy books. So I talked to one of the gentlemen working at the booth. I said, here's my problem. I already own books 1 and 2. I'm not interested in rebuying those books, even though they're the Red Dragon edition. I am not interested in rebuying those books. However, I want to buy this bundle. Is there any way you could take out books 1 and 2 and give me books 5 and 6, and just so that way I can just get what I wanted? He was like, I'm more than happy to do it, but not till the end of the convention. Because if we sell out, I'd rather sell out and sell out how everything's supposed to be versus breaking boxes to give you the books. I'm like, cool, I'll be back at the end of the convention. So I went back on Sunday around 3:30. Convention closes at 4. I'm like, I'm back. Can we do this? He was like, yes, we can do it. However, because I was getting the new Encyclopedia 2, the price was going to be a little bit different. It was going to be $240. I'm okay with that. But they also threw in a bunch of other stuff. So I'm like, sweet. So now I have the 2 encyclopedias for Fate Forge, which are really cool. In the Red Dragon edition, everything is done up on the spine. I got Creatures 1 and 2, again, Red Dragon editions. And sorry about the glare. I have not taken the shrink off these, and I don't plan to right now. I also got this cool player's guide bundle, which was part of the bundle. It has a bunch of adventures and information in it. He threw in the, this was the free RPG day part. I've already got a copy, but maybe somebody might be interested in that. Gave me an awesome piece of art. You already know I'm probably going to make a dice tray out of this, so really cool. And then they just kind of gave me some more products. And I haven't dug through all this. This is a map pack. That's nothing but maps. And then this is a cool box to hold a bunch of your content. And on top of that cool box, I got this cool box. This is the Red Dragon edition storage box. And all this stuff was $240, add in some tax. But the books themselves, just the regular edition books, sell for $50 a piece on Studio 2. I got the Red Dragon editions plus all this extra content for $240. It was well worth it. They actually, Studio Gate does some really cool discounted deals at the end of the show to try to move product, because shipping all this heavy paperback cost a lot. So they made deals, and I took advantage of it. And speaking of Fate Forge, I went on a roll. And I also picked up this board game from Mighty Boards. Fate Forge at Studio Gate was promoting this, and the booth was literally was right down the way from us. And I got to see this game. So this game actually turned me off at first because the game is app driven. This core box gives you 30 hours of content play. It does have solo mechanics, so you get 30 hours of gameplay here. The expansion also gives you an additional 10 hours of play, and then these boss minis can be used for the game. It was being sold as a bundle with the deluxe edition, which the deluxe edition only gives you wooden components for everything, but doesn't change anything else. That's all it does. It just gives you wooden components. And when I finally decided, I was talking to the sales rep, I'm like, I don't want an app-driven game. And the guy's like, totally get it. He wasn't trying to pressure me or anything. He was just like, but he just gave me a second of pause, and he goes, to be honest, if the app goes away in a couple years, if you play the game now and you just start playing it, and let's say you play through everything, are you ever really going to play the game again? So like, who cares if the app goes away in a couple years? Just play the game, get your time in, and you'll pretty much be done. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And I kind of fell for that concept. I was like, that makes a lot of sense, because I've got tons of other board games that like I want to play. And this will just be one of those that I'm just going to like sit down for a month, kind of play through it all, and that's probably going to be the end of it. Like, I'm probably not going to spend much time with that. So if the app goes away, I don't really care. And it's also all in the Fate Forge world, so I can actually use some of the components like miniatures and maps in the Fate Forge RPG. So I kind of talked myself into it after talking to the guy. So I'm not going to remove the shrink from this quite yet. I still I gotta spend some time with this, but you know, on the back they kind of tag all the things we like to see in a games that are being promoted. So it's story-driven co-op action adventure game, can be played solo, immersive map exploration, fast-paced combat system, quick to set up, easy storage, 60-minute sessions. So it's got all those little buzzwords. You know, it's combat adventure, 1 to 4 players, which is cool, easy learn setup. Usual stuff we like to hear. That's the back. I will be diving into this. I'm thinking during the Christmas season, like last Christmas, I sat down and really dove into Folklore of the Affliction. I'm thinking this year for Christmas break, I'm going to really dive into this. This is the core box, and again, it's 30 hours of content. Here's the back of the expansion. Again, giving you all the tag words and things that you want, but you're supposed to get another 10 hours of content. I did not get the deluxe version of the expansion. They were sold out. So this is the retail version of the expansion. Bummer, but at the end of the day, it's just wooden components and I could care less. Wooden components, cardboard components don't bother me one way or the other. They were not selling the retail version of the core set. Otherwise, I would have bought it. They only had the deluxe version, but they had the retail version of this. I really want to get into this. I like the world of Fate Forge. I've been spending some time reading in it. And yeah, so I want to get into that. And then this were some miniatures that were part of the bundle package. Cool, something to paint up. You know how I feel about miniatures. I love them. And the last thing. So my buddy and I go to GenCon. We drive from Arizona out there. And then when we're done with GenCon, breaking down the booth, putting it in storage, we head out to Kansas and we spend some time in Kansas with his family because his son lives out there, his mother-in-law lives out there. I get to live in a basement for a couple days when we're out there, which I love because I live in Arizona. We don't have basements. Basements are cool. I'm jealous of everybody that has one. But when we go out to the Kansas and we're hanging out in Hutchinson, Kansas, which is a really cool small town. Love the homes, love the architecture, love everything about it. I want to move to Hutchinson, Kansas, just so everybody knows. We go to a game store called Village Geek. Love the owners of Village Geek. They're very nice people. I get to see them once a year. And whenever I go to the store, like there was nothing I was interested in buying, but they were selling the hidden treasure packs for Dungeons and Dragons that come with the coin in the bag. So I have to pick something up when I go to my local stores to support local vendors. So what did I get? I got the silver bag, which is really cool. I love it. Oh no, this is the multicolored bag. I've never seen this bag. This has got like multiple color. I've never seen this bag in all my unopenings of this product. I've never seen this bag. So let's see if this is good luck. So this comes with dice and a coin. We will do the dice first. We got a cool crystal set, like dual colored see-through set of dice with dice. Oh, mushrooms. These are the mushroom dice. These are actually a nice set of dice. Can you see it? There's a mushroom inside. I'm sorry, my camera's not the greatest, but these are mushroom dice. So I got a cool bag, which is multicolored. I got the cool dice. And what did I get for a coin? Oh, this is awesome. I got lucky, and I was lucky with this pack. So I got the logo and I got the lucky. So this is a really cool coin for my collection. Speaking of Dungeons and Dragons, I tried to get the 6th edition Player's Handbook when I was there. I'm sorry. I think Wizards of the Coast really missed an opportunity at GenCon 2024 because they did not bring enough books. You had to get in and get like a queue number, and they were only selling so many copies a day. I think that was probably done to create FOMO and create some excitement around their booth. Wizards is a big company. They knew GenCon was coming. They could have brought more product with them. And I think what they're doing was just to get people excited. And I was at a booth, and I was talking to them, and they told me the process of getting their book, and I said, no thank you, I'll just wait till it comes out in retail because it's already being pre-sold, and I'll just buy it from my local retailer to read it and see what they're doing with it. I am interested to just kind of read through it. Not that I'm playing D&D, but it is the world's greatest RPG game, so I'm not going to frown upon their new release as much as others, but I just thought that was stupid. They could have brought thousands and thousands and thousands of copies. They're a big corporation. They could have had books drop ship there throughout the day and restock. That is a Wizards thing, and that's just how they market. So I'll support my local friendly game stores. But yeah, I picked those up. So anyways, that was everything I picked up from GenCon plus Con Crud. As you can tell, there's going to be a lot of edits in this video because I'm still coughing and I got a runny nose. So I got the Con Crud, but I am back home from the event and I have a list of videos that I want to be making. So I will get back to work on making videos. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and bye.